I've been a security guard for nearly 20 years. Most of my posts have been standard gigs. Warehouses, office parks, the occasional construction site. It's quiet, often boring work, and that suits me just fine. Quiet means everything is normal, safe, predictable. That's how I liked it. But last fall, I took a job that still doesn't make sense to me. Not why I accepted it, but why it was even offered in the first place. Something about it felt off from the very beginning, though I couldn't quite put my finger on it at the time. It was an overnight post at a small aerospace facility just outside Tulsa. Private contractor. Everything about it screamed top secret, from the background check to the lack of any real company name on the paperwork. They'd built a brand new materials testing lab, and they wanted someone stationed inside the ground floor lobby from midnight to 6 in the morning, every night of the week. There were no cameras to monitor, no rounds to walk, no machines to check. Just one task. Sit at the desk and log any sounds I heard coming from the roof. That was it. Not the labs, not the hallways, just the roof. I remember how blunt the interview was. The guy wore a black polo shirt with no logo, and his eyes didn't blink enough. He handed me a thin folder and said, "If you hear something walking above you, write down the time and duration. Do not investigate. Do not go upstairs. Do not go outside. Just record it." I stared at him for a moment. I asked if the building had raccoons or stray cats or anything like that. He didn't smile. "You're not being hired to investigate. You're being hired to observe." They were offering almost double the pay I was used to. I didn't ask more questions. I signed the contract and started that Friday. The first night was just as dull as expected. The lobby was clean and sterile, with white tile floors, a security desk, and buzzing fluorescent lights. I had a small table, a plastic chair, a thermos of coffee, and a hardbound logbook with a pen clipped to the front. I stayed awake. I listened. Nothing. The second night, around 2:30 a.m., I heard it. A sharp metallic clunk, like something hitting the roof. Then slow, heavy footsteps. Step, step, drag, step, right above me. The sound echoed through the concrete ceiling. It reminded me of someone walking barefoot in a gym locker room, slow and deliberate. I sat completely still, heart racing. I checked my watch. The pacing lasted 6 minutes, then silence. I wrote everything down: the time, the duration, the quality of the sound. I even noted my own reaction, though I'm not sure why. The third night, it happened again. Same time, same rhythm. It lasted 9 minutes this time, then stopped. By the fourth night, I was expecting it. When the sound came, I didn't even flinch. I just noted the time and let my pen move while the steps continued. But on the fifth night, the pattern changed. This time, I heard something else. A sound that didn't belong in this world. It was whistling. Long, low, breathy whistling. Not a song. Not a melody. Just a wheeze. Like someone with a collapsed lung trying to hum through a slit in their throat. It moved across the roof like it was circling me. I felt cold in my bones. The kind of cold you don't shake off. I gripped the edge of the desk to stop my hands from shaking. The whistling lasted 5 minutes. Then the steps returned. Then silence. The next morning, I called the number listed in my onboarding paperwork. A woman answered. I told her about the change in the sounds and asked if I should report it differently. She paused, then replied, "Note any new patterns." "Don't worry about interpreting them," I hesitated. "Is there anyone actually on the roof?" Her voice was steady. "There shouldn't be." I asked if it was some kind of testing, sound propagation, or vibration calibration, but she cut me off with a firm no. Then she thanked me and hung up. On the seventh night, I heard the whistling before the footsteps. That was new. It started at 2:17 a.m. and drifted directly above the desk where I sat. It stopped and started, like whoever was making it was struggling. Then, for the first time, it was followed by a loud thump right above the ceiling tile to my left. Not a footstep. A fall. I wanted to leave. My gut told me I should have walked out and never returned. But I didn't. Something about the job felt like a trap I had willingly stepped into, and I was already too deep. On the ninth night, things got worse. At 2:43 a.m., I heard the familiar pacing, but it wasn't above me. It was coming from the stairwell, downward. Slow, grinding steps, like someone in bare feet dragging one leg behind them. The stairwell door was to my right, locked from the outside with a keypad I didn't have the code for. I turned and stared at it. The footsteps grew louder until they reached the landing. Then they stopped. 3 seconds of silence. Then came the scratching. It wasn't frantic, like an animal. It was measured, steady. Something was dragging a sharp object across the metal door, back and forth. I couldn't breathe. I didn't move. After 3 minutes, it stopped. I didn't sleep at all that day. I sat in my apartment, blinds closed, TV on mute, trying to convince myself I was imagining it. But the next night, the door had marks on it. Thin, parallel scratches like fingernails or a fork. I ran my fingers across them. They were real. I didn't know what to do. By the 12th night, I was hearing the whistling in my dreams, not just while I was on shift. I started having sleep paralysis episodes. I'd wake up, unable to move, and swear I saw someone standing at the foot of the bed. A shape. Faceless. Listening. My wife noticed. She asked what was wrong. I told her it was just stress. She didn't believe me, and I don't blame her. On the 15th night, I brought a voice recorder. I knew it was against protocol, but I had to prove I wasn't going insane. The recorder ran the full 6 hours. When I played it back, I heard nothing. Not the whistling, not the footsteps, not even the hum of the lights. Just total silence. Like the building itself didn't exist. That night, during another round of pacing, I finally looked up. One of the ceiling tiles near the back wall began to lift. Just a little, like someone was pushing it up from above. I froze. The tile tilted at an angle, held like that for maybe 10 seconds, then gently dropped back into place. No sound, no dust. I backed out of the building at dawn without waiting for the clock to hit 6. I didn't care. I was done. When I returned the next night, the logbook was gone. In its place was an envelope with my name written in black ink. Inside it was a final paycheck, double what I was owed, and a handwritten note. You did your part. Do not return. Destroy your copy of the contract. No signature, no phone number, no company letterhead. I burned the contract in my backyard that night. My wife watched without asking why. It's been 6 months. I haven't taken another night shift since. But sometimes, in the early hours of the morning, I still hear that whistling. Not outside, not even in my dreams. It's in the walls. And sometimes, it sounds like it's waiting for me to listen again.